June 13, 1782. The sun shines over Glarus, a small Swiss town nestled between imposing mountains. A crowd gathers in the central square, wigged men and women in hats whisper among themselves, and in the center of the square a scaffold has been erected. A sword gleams in the sunlight. Today Anna Göldi, a 47-year-old maidservant, will be executed for a crime many already consider impossible in the age of Enlightenment, witchcraft. How did a simple maidservant end up condemned for witchcraft during the Enlightenment era? To understand this disturbing story, we need to go back in time and examine the life of this woman who became a symbol of injustice. Anna Göldi was born on October 24, 1734 in the small community of Sennval in eastern Switzerland, the daughter of a poor family, and she learned early that her existence would be marked by hard work. Tall with dark hair and eyebrows, grayish eyes often seemed unusual, Anna had an appearance some considered uncommon. With few options available for women of her social class, she became a domestic servant. Her adult life was not easy. She had 2 children out of wedlock, something extremely scandalous for the time, and the first died shortly after birth. She was accused of infanticide, convicted, and punished. This episode permanently stained her reputation. However, around 1765 she managed to secure a position as a maidservant in Glarus. After working in several households in 1781, Anna found employment in the home of Johann Jakob Tschudi, a prominent physician, judge, and politician in the region. The Tschudis were one of the richest and most powerful families in the canton of Glarus. Yen had 5 daughters, and Anna was hired to care for them and the house. For some time everything seemed to proceed normally, but beneath the surface tensions were silently growing. There is strong historical evidence that Yen Tschudi and Anna maintained an intimate relationship forbidden not only by the social difference, but also because Tschudi was married. In October 1781, a strange incident disturbed the peace of the household, and Migali, the Tschud's second daughter, then 8 years old, began to feel severe abdominal pains. When her mother examined what the girl had eaten, she discovered something impossible: needles in her milk. In the following days the situation worsened. The girl began vomiting needles, dozens of them, and the terrified parents could not explain how those metal objects were getting into their daughter's body. Suspicions quickly fell on Anna Göldi. Yen Tschudi accused her of bewitching his daughter milk through supernatural means. The accusation was as absurd as it was dangerous, and seeing herself at risk, Anna fled from Glarus, seeking refuge in neighboring cantons. On February 9, 1782, the canton of Glarus published an advertisement in the Zurich Zeit offering 100 royal crowns as a reward for her capture. The announcement described her accusing her of committing the monstrous act of incomprehensibly administering a series of needles and other objects to an innocent 8-year-old child. Anna was arrested in February 1782 in Dagmersellen. Brought back to Glarus, she was immediately subjected to interrogation. The authorities wanted her to confess to having made a pact with the devil and having bewitched the Tschudi girl. Anna vehemently denied all accusations. What followed was one of the darkest chapters in Swiss judicial history. Anna was subjected to brutal torture. Hung by her thumbs with weights tied to her feet, her body was stretched to its limits. Under unbearable pain, she finally confessed to having made a pact with the devil, who had appeared to her in the form of a black dog. She said she had received supernatural powers from him that she used to bewitch the girl. As soon as the torture ceased, however, she retracted her confession, insisting on her innocence. The case generated discomfort even at the time. After all, this was the heart of the Enlightenment, when philosophers like Voltaire and Rousseau had already condemned the belief in witchcraft. The trial against Anna was reported in newspapers throughout Europe, generating criticism of Swiss justice. Anna Göldi trial was marked by contradictions. Realizing that a conviction for witchcraft would generate bad international publicity, the authorities tried to avoid the formal use of this term in the official records. Instead, they accused her of poisoning. This procedural hypocrisy reveals how, even as they condemned her, they knew that the accusation of witchcraft could not be sustained in the modern world. During the trial, several witnesses were called to testify against Anna, and Migali herself testified that Anna had given her sweets and told her not to tell anyone. Meanwhile, the girl's health was improving, which paradoxically was interpreted as proof that the witch was losing her power over the victim. Anna tried to defend herself, but without a lawyer and facing a court composed of men from the same social class as her accuser, her chances were practically non-existent. Her trial was swift, and the sentence announced on June 13, 1782 was merciless: death by beheading. When reading the sentence, the court omitted any mention of witchcraft, referring only to poisoning. Later, the trial records were destroyed. On the morning of June 13, Anna Göldi was led to the central square of Glarus. As she walked to the scaffold, she held herself upright with surprising dignity. Some testimonies suggest that she declared her innocence until the end, while others claim she remained silent. The executioner, dressed in black, waited with his sharpened sword. There were no elaborate rituals. Only a brief prayer was made before Anna was forced to kneel and place her head on the wooden block. A deathly silence fell over the crowd when the executioner raised his sword. With a single blow, Anna's head separated from her body. Thus ended the life of the woman who would be known as Europe's last witch. Anna Göldi's execution caused commotion even in her time. Newspapers in Switzerland and Germany criticized the process, calling it barbaric and medieval. The fact that a conviction for witchcraft had occurred in 1782, more than 100 years after most European countries had abandoned such trials, was seen as an embarrassing anachronism. The true nature of the case remained the subject of speculation for centuries. In 2007, Swiss journalist Walter Hauser published research based on historical documents previously unknown. According to Hauser, Anna Göldi likely maintained an intimate relationship with Yen Chudi, her employer. There is evidence that he may even have raped her. When Anna threatened to expose the affair, Chudi faced a dilemma. In those days, confessed adulterers were prohibited from holding political office. To silence her and preserve his career, he allegedly orchestrated the witchcraft accusations. This theory explains why Chudi insisted so ferociously on Anna's persecution. It also explains how the needles appeared in the milk and in the girl body. They were probably placed there by Chudi himself or at his command to fabricate evidence against Anna. The case of Anna Göldi illustrates not only the persistence of superstition but also how accusations of witchcraft frequently masked issues of power and gender. Throughout history, women who challenged social norms, particularly those who exercised some sexual autonomy, were especially vulnerable to such accusations. Anna, a woman who already had children out of wedlock and possibly an affair with her upper-class employer, fit perfectly into this profile. For more than 2 centuries, the injustice committed against Anna Göldi remained unaddressed. Her story, however, was not forgotten. In 1991, filmmaker Gertrude Pincus directed a biographical film about her life, Anna Göldi, the Last Witch. In 2007, as the 225th anniversary of her execution approached, calls arose for her official rehabilitation. Initially, both the cantonal government and the Ecclesiastical Council of Glarus resisted, claiming that Anna was already rehabilitated in the popular conscience. Finally, on August 27, 2008, 226 years after her execution, the Parliament of Glarus officially recognized that Anna Göldi was the victim of judicial murder. She was formally exonerated of the charges of poisoning and witchcraft, becoming the first witch officially rehabilitated by a European parliament. In recognition of the injustice committed, the Anna Göldi Museum was created in 2007. The museum not only preserves her memory but also promotes discussions about human rights and abuse of power. In 2014, the city of Glarus inaugurated a permanent memorial in her honor. 2 eternally lit lamps on the facade of the courthouse, symbolizing vigilance against contemporary injustices. Since 2009, the Anna Göldi Foundation has awarded a biennial human rights prize. Thus, Europe's last witch has become a symbol of resistance in the face of oppression. Anna Göldi's story remains relevant in our times. It reminds us that a society's moral progress is not linear. Even in times of great philosophical advances, pockets of superstition can persist, especially when manipulated by those in power. Her case also illustrates how judicial systems can be perverted to persecute the vulnerable and protect the powerful, a lesson that remains pertinent. As we walk the path that Anna trod in her final moments, now marked as the gully path in Glarus, we are confronted with disquieting questions. How many Annas exist today, victims of manipulated judicial systems? What are the modern witchcrafts, the fabricated accusations to silence the inconvenient? In the place where Anna Göldi left this world today, there stands a slaughterhouse, a macabre irony that has not gone unnoticed by historians. But through the museum, the memorial, and the prize that bear her name, her legacy has transcended her cruel death. From victim she has transformed into symbol, from accused to accuser of the systems that permit such injustices. Anna Göldi case reminds us that the line between enlightenment and obscurantism, between justice and persecution, is thinner than we would like to admit. In every era, including our own, retrograde forces threaten civilizational achievements that we consider guaranteed. The execution of Europe last, which invites us to keep the lamps of reason, compassion, and justice burning, not only as a memorial to the unjustly treated of the past but as vigilance to protect the vulnerable of the present. Anna Göldi, the maidservant who dared to challenge a powerful man and paid with her life, did not find justice in her time, but her name, which her accusers hoped to erase from history, is today pronounced with respect. And her legacy continues to inspire struggles for dignity and human rights around the world.